everybody, and welcome to today's live stream. This is number 1 of 2, and of course, Pulsechain, Pulsechain, and Hex twice a day. Your host, Superman, in the house. Welcome, everybody. We're going to get into a lot of stuff. Crypto news, of course, Hex news. What else there? Stock market news. It's going to be awesome. We're going to look at Maximus. Maximus has team has flipped Hedron Deplorer as the number 1 whale in the Maximus ecosystem. So it's going to be awesome. And, of course, much more, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get into the chat. Say hello. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe on the way in. Hit that red big button, subscribe. Hit the like button, hit the bell, all that good stuff. If you want to join as a member, hit the join button. We've got Pulsechain, Hexkins, and Rich Heart Club. Get into it. And finally, our Discord. Get into Discord. It's a Discord syndicated. They're with Heinz Crypto and Gen Hex. And, of course, get in there on that one too. And a big shout out to our awesome community leaders and mods, Brian. And, of course, it's now Sandy Beach, Fat Sammy, and, of course, many others in there. So big shout out there. Let's get into it. We've got a few comments. Big welcome from Hex Token channel, of course. We've got the Hexkin Batman. So what does this mean? We're going to talk more about that. Hexkin Batman. Good to see you in the house there. Christian Collin in the house as well. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, boy. We've got Unprotected Hex. And this made me laugh. I read this. This made me laugh. Started my dream job this week and already asked for part-time or I'm walking. Just can't be away from crypto space. Too much FOMO. That's hilarious. Unpredicted Hex. That's funny. We got Craig in the house there from Gen Hex. Woohoo! Partying it up in Las Vegas with, I think it was Brian and, of course, Crypto Compassion, Hexiest man in the world. I actually remember all the people on your show now, Gen Hex. That's pretty cool. But unfortunately, the phone is dying. He's got to go. So we'll catch you up again there, Craig. Mike in the house there. Hello all. What's up, Superman? Last day of the West Coast heat wave in America. Woohoo! Let's go. Never eat so good. Yeah, I heard that. I hear that your crazy governor in California telling people to turn down the air conditioning while they wreck the energy market there. So I feel for you guys. Pulse Beta says, "Hey, super. Good. Hope you're good. Yeah, very good, Pulse Beta. Good to see you in the house there. Appreciate some of your nice comments too on the chat there. I answered those earlier. So big shout out to Pulse Beta there. Immigrant says Hex and Batman. What else here? What's up? What's up? Pulse God in the house there. Living on crypto, still panic buying Hex and Hedron. Nice one. I like that. Very nice there. We've got to give you the bow down for that. That's pretty awesome there, living on crypto. Davison house as well. It's in time you come to see Pulsechain as at the top of the trees is Pulse Beta. Yeah, well, you're not the only one there. Stressful Struggle also is big into that too, Pulsechain, but it is on our charts. So we do cover it on this channel. It's on our wildcard charts there. Blobfish King, good morning, everybody from Blobfish King. Very, very cool to see you. Let's get into it, folks. Straight into it. Here we go. The stock market Dow ends losing streak as the tech sidesteps larger rate hike bets, at least for the time being, right? At least for the time being. But it was a nice week, actually. You know, we start off with a bit of a red week, but then the last couple of days have been green. And, of course, that bodes well for crypto as well. It is the window of opportunity. The Hex ecosystem hasn't quite moved at the moment during this uprising, but we will see. Keep watching out for that early days. Now, we've got the Dow Jones at the moment. It is the top 30 industrials in the United States, and it's up 1.2% again like a boss, 377 points there at 32,151. That's kind of where that's at. We've got the S&P 500 up 61 points at 1.5% to 4,067. And finally, the NASDAQ up 2%. These are pretty nice gains the last couple of days. And, of course, we're up 250 points there to 12,112. And, of course, that has got a lot of the tech companies in it. S&P volatility down 3.5%. So risk on, folks, risk on. And, of course, the dollar index down slightly as well. Bit of weakening there in the US dollar versus its trading partners. We got the oil, of course, has gone up. So West Texas there up $2.50, 3%. And, of course, Brent oil there up $3.27, sorry, up 3.7%. And sitting at $86 and $92.40 respectively. Obviously, high nominal inflation there. So that may feed in, depending on how long it holds up there, slightly higher than we were under $90 was kind of cool, pulling off some of that energy component of nominal inflation. Obviously, core inflation excludes energy and food, but that does play into the mix over time. Gold there up $7.40, having a good day in the office, up at $17.27. Silver up 4% there to $18.78. And, that's not too bad, 0.5% and 1.9% respectively. Food, however, up to 2% there, the soybeans, and just the way it goes. So we're going to jump from there. Let's get into the commentary. The Dow snapped a 3-day losing streak, 3-week losing streak Friday as technology sidestepped the ongoing chorus of hawkish Federal Reserve remarks that have pushed up the odds of a larger September rate hike and extended the melt up in Treasury yields. Now, obviously, we know volatility is coming in ahead of us. There's no surprises here, but we're enjoying the green days this week. That was pretty cool. Now, big tech and chip stocks combined to help push the broader tech market more than 2% higher, even as the latest remarks from the Fed officials continue the trend of rising Treasury yields, which is typically a drag on tech. Federal Reserve Governor Christopher Waller called for another significant increase in the policy rate later this month. On the 21st September is the expected rate rise there. And of course, we're probably looking at 75 basis points. The remarks arrived just a day after Chairman Jerome Powell vowed to persist with rate hikes until the job on reducing inflation is done. So obviously, we want inflation to come down as much as possible naturally, and obviously then have a less likely of higher interest rates. That's kind of the better play out there. So we'll see how it goes. There's still lots of inflationary pressures out there. The hawkish wave of remarks from Fed officials this week has pushed the odds of a 75 basis point rate hike to 91% from 57% the prior week. So if you've seen our previous videos, we have covered those percentages climbing as we move to 91%. So that's kind of where I've been talking about us being there. I'd be very surprised if we get 100 basis points. 75 does seem to be the case. It'll probably be most likely the case. Obviously, we'll find out in due course. Energy also played a big role in the broader market. Melt up helped by advancing oil prices following recent reports suggesting the Biden administration is mulling whether to stop releasing oil from the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve after October. So remember that the current administration has attacked the energy markets in the U.S. that had self-sufficiency under the previous administration. And of course, they have basically now importing the oil prices and create most of the problems themselves, right? So these guys are, a bunch of, you know where the rest goes. There we are. So that's kind of there on the market. So a good day in the office, nice and green. And of course, we like that. That hopefully should feed the weekend nicely for crypto. Let's get into some other news around at the moment, of course, was the SEC. The SEC to set up a new office for crypto filings. Oh my goodness gracious me, as we say, oh my goodness gracious me. And of course, the Office of Crypto Assets and the Office of Industrial Application Services. So they're really starting to focus in on the crypto. I mean, it's only a modest size asset class, but because it's high profile, and of course there's always scamming and other things in there. They're taking the opportunity, but the problem is it crosses over from when are they protecting the consumer to when are they trying to take control, right? That's the other part of it there. So we'll see how they get on with that. So they're setting up an Office of Crypto Assets. As a result of recent growth in crypto asset in the life sciences industries, we saw a need to provide greater and more specialized support. So it looks like where they're going there. Obviously, cryptocurrencies and other digital assets have soared in popularity over recent years and are getting increasingly intertwined with the regulated financial system, saddling policymakers with monitoring risks in a largely unregulated sector. 2022 has seen a sharp drop in crypto demand, though, as global risk sentiment was walloped by the Ukraine crisis, aggressive monetary policy tightening, and decades of high inflation. Allegations of, and I think they're meaning record high inflation, allegations of money laundering against some crypto firms, as well as consumer data violations in the United States, the biggest market for digital assets, have also affected demand. So there's some commentaries there. I think they made a bit of error on that last paragraph there, but that's kind of there. So that's actually a significant focus there and resource allocation by the SEC. So obviously affecting US firms in particular, but can have, like the privacy we just saw, can have further impacts globally. All right, let's jump into crypto. Wow. Woo. Look at this. Damn. Man, this is looking good. Looking good here. All right, so we've got BTC up at 21,406, up 10, almost 11% there. BTC leading the way. I imagine that the crypto should be able to get into double-digit figures at some stage this holds up. And of course, we've got ETH at 1721, up only 5.6%. We've got the ETH merge coming. Really should be ETH that's pumping the chain there. And of course, we got BTC. BNB up 4.8%, up to $293 there. And of course, people are talking about Dodge again, which is pretty interesting, up 5.5%. I just saw some people talking about that. And of course, AVAX there is up 6.6. So we've got a few increases there. Looks like Atom is actually up quite significantly. Yeah, 17% on Atom there. So some interesting numbers going on there. And of course, Raven looks like Raven is still going up there. So 52%. So Raven seems to be on an absolute tear at the moment. So some interesting stuff going there. And of course, we're waiting for the ETH merge coming up. And of course, that's expected on the 15th or so. And we're about 5-6 days away from that. So that's pretty awesome. This is really cool. Man, oh man, we were really lower. Let's have a look at the how fast we've gone up here. We were sitting down here at we look at the daily. I'm pretty sure we're on the daily. Look at this. So we were sitting down here at 19,427, and we have gone up. And what's that? 2021, $2,800. $2,800. Nice day in the office there. Very, very cool. Now let's jump over to some of the ETH news in crypto. We've got some positive news coming out. ETH successfully deploys a final network test before merge. This is very bullish. Obviously, they did some of the main testing with the Gorilla there. Gorilla, I should say. I always call it Gorilla. Gorilla testnet there was the last big testnet that they were migrating to test it. They've been doing other trials and tests before that, obviously, as well. So successfully, though, Ethereum today successfully completed what its developers say is the absolute final dress rehearsal for the historic and massive upgrade, which is likely to occur between September the 13th and the 15th. And of course, that's indicated even slightly earlier than the 15th, which is pretty interesting. The Ethereum's mainnet 13th shadow fork went live earlier today, apparently without a hitch, so a positive there. And of course, shadow forks are focused trial runs of aspects of the merge, which test for potential issues and simulate the act of shifting the Ethereum's mainnet underlying mechanism from the current proof of work mining model to proof of stake, which will end the practice of mining on the network. And here is the update from one of the devs there. Ethereum's mainnet shadow fork number 13, the last shadow fork before the merge, was successful. The merge is coming, and they've got a nice little link there, and that's from cryptogucci.eth. So nice there, 9th September. See the latest and greatest. And speaking with Decrypt, a number of Ethereum developers confirmed that Network's final shadow fork today was successfully deployed, no issues serviced. So that was pretty cool coming from Ethereum core developer Widgeton there. And last week during the Bellatrix, a key pre-merge upgrade, the Ethereum network encountered some hiccups when its missed block rate spiked by some 1,700%. So it did have some issues. And so basically, Terence Tao, the Ethereum core developer, said that today the shadow fork tested this missed block rate issue that they experienced last week, this Bellatrix one, and of course found it to be functionally basically perfect. So they've managed to fix those issues up, and of course they probably blamed, I think they blamed some of the minor validators that were in the play. I think that's what they did. So Van Der Widgeon said it's just a sanity check at this point in terms of that testing, but looks like it's ready to go, folks. Ethereum there, it could possibly be even earlier than the 15th there, as indicated. So we will see when that comes up. So very, very exciting. Well done. That's going to be good. Obviously, looking forward to a successful merge there for ETH. Now, finally, MicroStrategy files for stock offering for up to 500 million in part to buy additional Bitcoin. Still buying. So there we are. We intend to, they're basically business software. MicroStrategy filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission for a stock offering up to 500 million and said it intends to use the proceeds at least in part to buy additional Bitcoin. We intend to use the net proceeds from this offer for general corporate purposes, including the acquisition of Bitcoin. So there we are. Still more and more shares of the MicroStrategy rose 12% on Friday. So that's pretty much it. So let's see how we get on with that. And of course, in tandem with Bitcoin's rise, obviously Bitcoin rising there as well. But the shares were down 1% afterwards. So there we are, more buying from MicroStrategy. and of course, Bitcoin is on the rise. So there we are, 21. Oh, up to, what's it, $2,800 looks at, or that's $2,000. Sorry, I messed that up. It's $2,000 up at the moment. All right, cool. Let us jump over to the Hex markets, and of course we got Hex at the moment, just chilling around 4 cents. It's not following the market up at this stage, just 4 cents on the chill there. Did manage to get up to, almost just shy of 4.1 cents. And of course, been here like for about 13 days now. So it's just chilling with the homies at the moment. It's about, this candle is about to finish in about 13 minutes on my chart. And of course, that's what's happening there. So haven't seen any particular movement. Obviously, the big launch at the moment is Maxi. Maxi at a 2.12 premium. We saw some big holders sell out into Hex earlier. They may be going into perpetuals. I hadn't followed their accounts. This is where we are with Maximus at 2.12 at the moment. Now, obviously, in a couple of hours' time, we'll have the final results for day 5 of Maximus, day 5. So we're going to have those coming up. Check out the second live stream though today for that. We'll be covering those details. But at the moment, 2.12 premium over Hex. And of course, that's kind of where we are with the price. Let's have a look at the price. The price at the moment is 8.5 cents on a Maxi versus 4 cents on Hex, and that's a 2.12 a premium there. So we're going to get into some of the Hex Whalebot, have a look at some of this Hex Maxi dynamics. 16 hours ago, we had 70 million Hex there staked for 28 days. Another one of those short stakers, 66 million Hex stake for 10 days. So these are all these big Hex stakers with these large volumes staking. And then we had another one, 58 million. So lots of short-term stakers there coming out and just restaking. Like I say, most of these guys just keep restaking in those big candles that come out. 4.8 million are sold 14 hours ago. So that's some of our downward pressure there. And then finally in the last hour, that was 12 hours ago, and we haven't had anything on the Whalebot since then. Then 1 hour ago, we had 13.4 million sold for $500,000 US on Uniswap. So some serious selling pressure there. Now, obviously, I don't know why I'm putting the heart on. Let's take the heart off that one. That's not cool. We have a look there. Who is that up there? Hexologist even responded to this one. So he's obviously watching pretty closely there too. So that is the Hex Whalebot. But let's get into the Maxi news. Obviously, 2.12 premium over Hex. Let's have a look at the results at the moment. And we will be updating this with the final results for day 5 later on. So any increases to this. We got the base, the trio, Lucky and Dicky. Remember, you need 1 Hex for one of these staking pool tokens. And of course, we've got 10.37 million Hex gone in there. We've got 10.51 million in the trio for the 3-year stake. The 7-year Lucky stake, we've got 10.31 million Hex. So all of them over 10 million now. And of course, coming up to the end of day 5 in a couple of hours' time. The Decimus or Decky one there is 39.43 million, almost at 40 million. No surprises there, of course. And of course, the T-shares are going up and away there. So what are we going to look like? 6,000, 6,800, 7,400, something like that at the moment in total T-shares. And compare that to the Maxi stake, which is 42,000 T-shares. So we're getting up there. Now, the APY yields are respectively to the how long they're staked. And, of course, no surprise here to see the Decky with the 29.82% up at 39.43. One of the issues, of course, is that the short game and the long game probably both benefit from this premium yield. Yeah, we'll see how we go on there. All right, so the team minting there, 27.08 million. This is going very well indeed. And, of course, that's how much Maxi has gone in to mint team, 27.08 million. That's impressive. And, of course, stake team there, 19.36 million. Liquid team there, 7.72 million. So already a vast majority of people staking there. Now, the Maxi breakdown, as you guys know, all the Maxi that goes into team there, 27 million, 20% gets burned. So 5.42 million is burned. 30% goes into the 369 Maxi rebate reward for the team stakers up here, these team stakers. And of course, in year 3, 6, and 9, and of course, over 8 million has gone into there. And of course, the remaining 50% of the Maxi that goes into the team minting down here goes into the mystery box, 13.54 million. And so no expectations around that, but there is a couple of key wording there when you stake your team. that one of the fourth benefit, when you stake your team, you get 50% of the bigger pays better bonus from the perpetuals. So the bigger these are, the more rewards you get. You get all the Hedron from these as well. And then on top of that, number 3, you earn back some of your Maxi here with the 369 Maxi rebate. Now, if there's not that many people staking, you could end up getting, more, all of your Maxi back over this period, and potentially more. So it just depends on the staking over the life there of 369 years ahead. And then number 4, of course, is the wild card, and potentially could be huge for the team holders, and that is benefiting from the growth of the Maximus ecosystem, new products, and of course potentially airdrops. Maybe some mysterious airdrops, it says, or mysterious drops or something like that. I can't remember the exact word, but it's mysterious, and that seems to be similar to the name of the Maxi Mysterious box. So some pretty interesting stuff there. Presumably it's going to be benevolent. We will find out though. Will it be an antagonist? That'd be funny, but not that funny really. So that's kind of where we are there. Let's have a look. Let's deep dive now. Now this is the title of the video: Maximus team flips Hedron Deployer. You guys know I've been looking for that Maximus team. So all the Maxi that goes into the team wallet here is on the blockchain, and of course we can see the latest and greatest here. Let's go to the first page, and of course let's refresh this with the latest and greatest. This basically just mirrors the dashboard. Dashboard's just pulling the data from here, and of course here we are. Here's the Hedron Deployer. Woohoo! It was number 1 yesterday, and of course sitting there 27 million Maxi in it. And of course, it had 9.18%, but it got flipped. Got flipped only a little while ago, maybe 2 hours ago or something. It wasn't too long ago. It got flipped, and maybe a couple of hours ago, maybe 3 hours. It wasn't very long, and it got flipped. It's now number 1. The team Maxi wallet is now number 1. Now it's got a 27,085,000 Maxi in it, and of course 9.23% of that. So that's pretty cool. And if you jump into the team wallet there with all the Maxi that's gone in there, it is pretty impressive. Everybody's minting their team, and they're sending in Maxi. So you can see it all here going on. Now we've had some interesting numbers going. We've had 200,000 here, 155,000 here, 100,000 here, another 100,000. So these are good numbers coming in here. And of course we've got 100,000 here coming on page 2. And so forth. So some good numbers there. And as page 3 there, you're getting some decent numbers. 45,000. What else there we got? So some pretty large numbers. A lot of smaller retail investors. 50K there. So we've got the smaller ones and bigger ones coming in there. But we're watching for the big ones. 250,000 there came in there. 50,000 there. So you sort of see the idea on page 4 here. I think we're on 80,000 there as well. So what page are we on? Page 4. Yeah. So looking really good, up to 27 million. And of course, is now the number 1 Maxi Wow is the team wallet there. And of course, that team, as I say, that team is going to be allocated. The Maxi that goes into that wallet is going to be allocated 20% to the burn, 30% to the 369 Maxi rebate, and 50% to the Maxi mystery box. All right, so that's kind of where we are, and we're waiting for that. So now I won't talk about that anymore because it's been done. The Maxi team wallet, they've flipped the Hedron Deployer. That's going to be fun to see. Now, obviously, there's a few questions to ask, of course. What will the Hedron Deployer do with its Maxi? And we will find out. We're coming up to the end of day 5 in a couple of hours' time. And, of course, we're going to be looking forward to see whether the Hedron Deployer moves at all. It may not move. It may do a split strategy. Maybe it puts some of the Hedron, the Maxi into the team token and Mint's team. May do some. May do none, may do all. We will find out. At the moment, it's at 9.23, so pretty cool. The other thing, of course, is that a lot of the big whales will be looking to see how much Hex goes in here. We may not get a lot of people moving amongst the larger holders until the last 2 days or something like that. We're going to find out. But at the moment, it's going up nicely. That Hex that's gone into the base trio, Lucky and Dicky, over 70 million Hex in there so far. And, of course, we're only coming up to the end of day 5 of 21 days, or give or take a couple of hours there, maybe 17 hours, but we'll find out. All right, so cool, that is that. So let's get into some of the highlights here. So if we look at the holders, we've got all these big holders here in Maxi. And, of course, I've done a little summary of the Maxi table here, downloaded it. And, of course, we can see the team wallet there, the Hedron Deployer there, and all the large whales. Now, I've just done some added up some interesting numbers for you to think about. We've got the team wallet there at 27 million Maxi in it, and of course that's 9.2%. Accumulated as 9.2, and we've got one count in there. The Hedron Deplorer is number 2, and of course this is the total Maxi supply here. We've got 9.2% there as well. So together those two, the team wallet with Maxi in it and the Hedron Deplorer, have 18.4%. And at the moment, obviously the team wallet Maxi is getting redistributed at the end of 21 days, but that's kind of what it's got there at the moment, 18.4. And of course, we've got the Uniswap top 3 wallets. Now, there are other wallets with some decent amount of Maxi in them, but I haven't included them in here. So just the top 3 wallets there at 5.5 million. These are the bigger Uniswap trading pairs. There are, several others, maybe 3 or 4 others out there. And of course, that's got 1.9% in it with 20%. And it's got 3 wallets, as I say, but there are 3 or 4 others out there, smaller ones. The 1 million club. So everybody in the 1 million club, they have 86.9 million in the 1 million club. So that means 1 million upwards, all the way up to like 4.4 million or so. You can see that. You can see that on here. The biggest whale there, it's got 4.4 million. So that's those numbers there. They got 86.9, so they're massive. These large whales in the million plus club, all the way up to 4.4 million, 29.6%. What will these whales do? And this is probably one of the biggest highlights here is we were up to here. What will all these whales do? Will they just leave their Maxi, knowing that a lot of Maxi is going in, particularly from the smaller retail book into the team? We will see. They're going into here. Or will they just sit there? We were going to find out. Will there be a big rush of this into the team at the end? We're going to find out. It's going to be fascinating. They have 29.6%. That's a lot. That's why I said there's a lot of whales in Maxi. There's 50 accounts in there at the moment. 50 accounts. And of course, that's going to be interesting to see that. We've seen that go down. I think I estimated at the beginning that was definitely higher, maybe up around 58 or something like that. So it seems to have gone down to me. I don't have a perfect snapshot like this, but that was kind of just what we were observing. The 500K club has 29 million in it. So somewhere holders with 500K to a million have 29 million in there. That's a lot, man. And 9.9% as well. And that's 60% all up. So we add up all these percentages here. That cumulatively is up to 60%. So 60% of the Maxi is held by the top wallets that have over 500,000. So that's every 3 and 5 Maxi is held by the 500 club or higher, and that's 45 accounts. So very few people hold Maxi. So 6% of people there is 60% of the Maxi. Is held by 100 wallets. 60% of the Maxi is held by 100 wallets there. Interesting, but this is the ones that we're really looking at. What will these guys do? What will these guys do in the million 500K club? We've seen a lot of movement actually in the 500K club. We have actually seen a lot of movements there. We've seen some movement in the 1 million club there too. We were sitting, so it's 45 in there. We're probably seeing 10 to 15, probably up to 15 movers in the 500K club, maybe 10 to 15 that have already made their decisions. We've got two in the 250,000 club. We've got 20 million, and that's 6.9% of all the Maxi. They have 60 wallets in there in that club. So you can see the top ones there. 2 out of every 3 Maxi is held by the top 160, and we've got about 155 wallets between the 250 and the million club there. So it's going to be fun to see what these guys do. We've still got a long way to go, of course. What's that? 16 days to go after we finish day 5 in a couple of hours' time, and we'll see what these guys do. Many of them will probably do nothing. Many of them may end up going into the team. Some of them might end up going into team, holding some Maxi, and then also selling some into Hex, and then putting, if they don't have Hex elsewhere, and then putting that into the perpetual. So we could see a lot of different things going on. It's going to be a crazy time. And of course, that's going to impact, everything amongst the Hex team and Maxi numbers there. 100,000, we've got 39.6 million. That's 30.5%. So there is, decent power there amongst the 100,000 club there. But they have 270 wallets in there, so a lot of wallets in that one. And of course, everybody else under 100,000 we have 58 million. That is 19.8%. That brings us up to a total of 100%. So we add up all these percentages, equals to 100% there. We have 5,084 wallets in there, so a lot of smaller players in the under the 100. So that's where we are with a total of 5,514 wallets at the moment holding Maxi. These are the only people that can mint teams. So there's a little bit of stuff there. Hopefully that provides a little bit more insight into some of the actions here that we're particularly expecting over the next 16 days. I think we've seen a lot of action by the smaller players, in the 100,000 club and the others. I think we've seen quite a bit of action there, but it's this the action, and we've seen some action in the larger holders, but a lot more to come. A lot more to come. Let's see what we got this here. Let's see what these numbers look like at the end. I've just done this for the end. We're pretty close to the end of day 5. Let's see what these numbers look like when we get into day 21. I've got to remember to check that out. So very interesting numbers. All right, cool. Let's see how we end up. It's going to be fun. Now, in any case, we're getting more scarcity into the Maxi supply. Remember, 20% is going to be burned, and of course, 30% going to the reward pool, which is basically off the market for 3 years, 6 years, and 9 years. And of course, then we got 50% going to the mystery box. Who knows what that will do? And we'll find out. So very cool. That is the wrap up of Maximus. Hope you guys like that. Some little insights there. And we're going to get back into it. We're going to get into Hedron. Let's do it. And a Hedron price. Before we do that, though, I'm going to get in some of the comments just to make sure I'm not too far behind. But here is the Hedron price. We'll just leave it on there at the moment. It's at 4,134. So let's just get in some of the comments in the house. We're going to get into there. What else have we got? Uncle Will in the house there checking in for the best daily recap in the ecosystem. Thanks, man. Hey, Uncle Will, you're welcome. I appreciate the nice thoughts there. JB in the house there, woo, from Wales, UK. A big shout out to you, JB. I'm just loving the Hex Token channel, says Patrick. Hey, Patrick, appreciate that big time. And Brennan says, what's up, fam bam? Hey, Brennan. Very, very nice, Brennan. Very nice. Living on Crypto says, Fed trying to reduce inflation. Lol, a prime example of cognitive deficit and dissonance. Love Hex. A nice one there. I like those comments. I have found this to be the most informative Hex Pulse and Pulse Zen channel, says Pulse Beta. Check channel out there. All the others tend to blow their own trumpet, says Pulse Beta. Very nice comments there. Christian Collin in the house there. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff. BTC is just trying to get in as much as possible before the E2.0 comes out, says Christian. Yeah. Well, typically when we see the BTC move, we often see after that the altcoins move, and of course we get typically bigger percentages. So this could be setting up for a very nice move for ETH. Now, will it be what we see most of the time? Buy the rumor and sell the news, and probably will be. So we'll find out. All right, so cool. At the moment, says who else there? We've got Lies Beneath in our house there. Hello, how are you today? Oh, Bob Well says, I picked up some very early PCN against the grain, says Bob Well. Nice play there. Lies Beneath says, hello, all Hex, EHEX, PLS, and PLS for the 100%. Elias, you know the strategy. What else there? Hex Hoddle says, Conrad Zen has a new video titled Major Bug Found in PCN. I haven't seen that, so we will be covering the price. We haven't done too much of a deep dive, but we'll be covering the price there. Adan says, morning all, and Suitman. Let me just go back to the where we're going. We're going to the Hedron price there. We're just going to leave it on there for a second. Morning all, and Suitman. Love your streams, my man. Keep up the champ. Loved your mini clips on Pulsechain. Greatest ecosystem in crypto, powers by the Hex Bank, powered by Hedron, Acosa, and Maxi Super Staker. Nice one out, Dan. Hey, you're welcome. And I've got I've got the 4th video in the Pulsechain series coming out tonight. It's a short form video series there. And of course, people have been asking me for short form videos. So they're coming. So cool. I was going to be doing one on the timing of Pulsechain too, but it looks like I got front run on that video. It was one of my videos on my series. I got front run by Matt from Liquid Loans, but I'll probably do one anyway in a series because I wanted to do that one. So we'll stay out there. Matt, your front runner. All right, we've got the house there. Monty Zuma Moon in the house. AJ Man, good to see you as well. Refine's in there too. Good to see you. Woohoo! All these names that you get familiar with. Amazing. I like green candles and I cannot license DB. And we are one day closer to Pulsechain DB. One day closer. Hello, Hex Token, everybody. Sandy Beach in the house. Hey, Sandy. Simon's in there. Salutations, Simon. Good to see you as well. Crypto King. Boom, boom. What's up, Hexkins? Good to see you in the house too, Crypto King. What's up? Hey, what's up? Is that a what's up? What's up, you Hexkins? What else there? Dan in the house there. Can you imagine the future for the Hex Pulsechain ecosystem is growing before it's even launched? I know it's crazy. crazily good. Everything that we're looking at is getting copied over to Pulsechain. So it really is a great insight there, Adan. The Hex ecosystem is growing, and therefore it's going to be even bigger on Pulsechain. It's going to be absolutely massive. It's going to be insane when it goes live. This community might rocket Pulsechain to the moon. Absolutely. I think there's very little doubt about that. All right, here we are. So we've had a high of the day let's see, is the day finished? Yeah, just rolled over 6 hours. So we've got the high of the day of 4,493. Yesterday, we were up at 4,400. And of course, so today we actually got slightly higher, 4,493. The low of the day was 3,646. So that's much better than yesterday, which was 3,100. So this is looking much better. We pretty much come down. My range, remember, was back down to about 3,500. And of course, Randy Alassi talked about potentially 3,200. And of course, that range definitely has hit that range in here. We got the RSI ticking up a bit here, so looking bright there. I think Hedron's probably just going to consolidate here, especially with the positivity with the crypto market. So looks good here for Hedron, and I know many of you are pretty heavy in that. Acosa, of course, at $1.22 at the moment, $1.22 on Acosa, and it's pretty much moving with the Hex price there. Now, I don't know if we're going to jump over to the BNB memes and the airdrops and the wildcards, including PZN, since everyone's talking about it in the chat there, or a few people are. Let's jump over to that, and we've got Pulse Dogecoin. This is on the BNB chain, remember. So let's have a look. BNB is up 4.5%, so just gives us context there. Pulse Dogecoin making a big move up to almost 0.5% there, 46 hundredths of a cent there. And a nice little move there as well. Let's see where they can consolidate that. But that's up 13%, so beating BNB there. We've got P33, unfortunately. That made a bit of a nice move yesterday, up to 10 cents. Got as high as 10.5 cents, but down now at 9.5 cents there. Let's see whether they can do much there. I think they've got to do a lot more. They have started a little bit about integration of all their sites. They need a bit more there as well. PIM Internet Money Wallet, not really doing much here. Not really doing much. Got slightly higher lows. Apart from that, not doing a lot there. Had a nice move earlier in the piece, but hasn't managed to build on that yet. So that's pretty much it for the BNB markets. What else there? We've got Pulse Dogecoin. We're waiting for the staking. Staking is coming out pretty soon here. We're at $3.36. And we have got an update around there, haven't we? We've got Pulse Bitcoin here. They have been posting a few things here. When new people get into Pulsechain, what coins do they buy? I guess they buy, the ones they've probably heard of, Dogecoin and Bitcoin. What else have we got there? No one ever claimed more Pulse Dogecoin. The supply is set and will never be greater than 6 million. And of course, if this means if all possible sellers have sold, it takes a small amount of buy pressure to send these assets to the moon. Basically, if anyone is literally anyone demand for Pulse Dogecoin, well, I wouldn't want to be without a bag. As Richard says, well, everyone is talking about the bear market, which we're currently in. We Hexicans are preparing for the bull run. Finally, also keep in mind, Pulsechain will be the catalyst for the next epic crypto bull run. Yeah, we agree with that one. It's not a matter of if it will happen, only a matter of when, meaning if you are not prepared now, you may live to complete regret watching charts do what you thought was not possible. Absolutely for that. So that's some insights there. They have got on the top of their video, on the top of their site here, Pulse Bitcoin launch is imminent. So that is, I don't think he's mucking around with that. I think launch is imminent. So we'll be trying to keep up with that one. And of course, the price at the moment, $3.36 for Pulse Dogecoin. All right, cool. I suspect we'll get some new gamification in that launch as well. Meanwhile, on the weight token, the weight airdrop, that is currently at over 7/10 of a penny there, 73 hundredths of a cent, and 2 good days in the office there at the top of the range as well. So let's see whether this can even break higher than that. So that's pretty cool there. That is weight versus USDC there. Most people have not claimed. I think we said it was up to 70 million. Yeah, and the accrued amount that people haven't claimed is probably, I don't know, I'm just guessing, but around about 1.2 billion or somewhere in that mark. It's adding like 4.5 million a day. And of course, I think it launched on the 5th of July. And that was at 880 million back then. So it's definitely adding a lot at the moment. So July, August, September. Yeah, so it's at 2 months. So let's do a quick math on that. I think it's July the 5th. So let's do 60 days times 4.5 million. That's 270 plus 880. 80. That would be a supply. Yeah, 1.150 billion. It's probably somewhere in that ballpark. So it wasn't too bad at a 1.2 billion guess there. And about 70 million has been minted. So it's got a lot of supply around. Had 2 good days in the office, so we'll see how that goes. Obviously, you qualify for this airdrop if you had sacrificed for 8 different sacrifices, including Pulsechain and Pulsex, liquid loans, internet money, to state a few. There are 8 of them that you qualify. So some people might get some lucrative stuff there. That's pretty much the airdrops. Let's jump over to the wildcards. This is what some people want to look at. PZN and house there. Let's have a look yet. No breakout yet, but looking good. Looking good. I mean, I can't deny it's looking good there. We've got higher lows in there. We've got this resistance at 0.7 of a penny, but it's looking pretty, pretty good in the sense that it could break out from there. Keep watching that one. And apparently, like I say, Conrad Zen has, facing the bugs and the bug, and I think it was V3, right? V3 wasn't tradable. V2 is tradable without any issues. I think that's the case there. Let me know in the chat. That's true. All right, so let's have a look at Dodeca. Dodeca at the moment is down, and of course, as you guys know, I like the idea of buying Hex, but unfortunately, these projects typically wind down over time, and apparently the sacrifice price is around 8 cents. So there's still people in the money, quite in the money there. It's currently at 33 cents at the moment. Made a nice little comeback from 20 cents all the way up to 68 cents, and down as it's gone. This is on the 4-hourly chart. If I take the daily, here's the daily chart there. So that's what the daily chart there looks like, to give you a bit of a view. So, yeah, holding up okay at the moment, 33. But typically these things end up winding down. And, of course, it really depends on how the community is growing, what are people buying in that. But typically they do that. Now, there is a positive to this, of course. They are burning a Dodeca as well, not just buying Hex. I think that's the model there. And, of course, that reduces the supply. But is that going to offset the growth of the Dodeca ecosystem? That's the question. And typically these don't. Typically they'll wind down. But, hey, it might surprise to the upside. It is very speculative. Let's have a look here. We've got the More token. This is Trayvon's token. And, of course, it's sitting at $1.30 there at the moment, and had a nice little recovery there from 85 up to $1.30. I'm surprised, given the market at the moment, how boomer it is at the moment, that it's not doing a little better, to be honest. But, hey, that's where it is at the moment. Those are our wildcards. Those are all by community members inside the community. And so we decide to cover them there. Yeah. All right, cool. That's pretty much it. Let's jump out of there. We've got, let's jump out of that too. No, we'll leave that one open. Jump out of that one. The other ones, of course, we've got Pulsepot. Pulsepot coming up here. So Pulsepot had their what's that? Their 5th auction? Is it 5th auction? 4th auction? I think it's 4th auction for their revolutionary decentralized table ownership of the casino. You become the house. Obviously, you got to bid for it. But they had the Hedron roulette auction up, and of course that was 3 hours ago. I think it may have finished now, so let's see where we get on with this. Let's have a look here. It's popping up there, folks. Right, let's have a look here. So we've got 7.777 ETH here on the Hedron. I think that looks like it's the final one there. Never unstake. So we had a couple wipe out here. So these ones, I think when they get crossed off, they they're pretty much fake, right? They don't honor their bids. I think that's pretty much what happens there. So we end up getting some big numbers, but they don't honor their bids there. So the top one there is actually Pulse Dodge Coin to the moon. That is 7.77 wrapped ETH there. So it looks like 13,368 actually won this one. So that's pretty cool. I think we can go to the history, and that might show us, that shows us all the activities. I thought it might show us the bid there. We got the bids on there. Yeah, so they were all knocked off. So 7.77 ETH. That's pretty good for the Hedron one. Is that Hedron? Yeah, Hedron. It's got a 2% fee on it. Max bet is 5,000. Hedron token there. Pulsechain European. So it's not going on to Pulsechain. Now they will be issuing NFTs for the BNB chain, because that's the one they're launching on first, because Pulsechain's not launching. It's not here yet. So they're launching on Pulsechain later. They're launching on 5 chains, EVM chains. So yeah, waiting to see that. So cool, very cool. I like this stuff. It's very speculative, but I think these guys are real, making, pushing the innovation in the space with something quite new. I haven't seen this before, and this is great. So we'll see. Keep watching how they're going there. So let's see what else there. They've got probably the latest one there. Let's go up to the top here and see. So we've had the PLS one that went for about 44,000. PLSX there went for about 33,000. The Hex went for about 23,000, so about 10,000 each less. The PLSP there, I think that went pretty well too. I can't remember, was it 17,000 maybe, something like that. Can't remember now. Hedron there just went for, as we saw, 13,000. And of course, the next one up is PLSD, Pulse Dodge Coin Roulette. Let's see if we can find the auction to this one. I'm pretty sure that must be the latest on there. So let's have a look. I'm pretty sure this must have gone to auction now. Yep, it has. It has indeed. Actually, let's look at the PLSP there. Went for 17.85 ETH. Wow. Okay, so that's about 15 grand or something. So something like that, 16 grand. So here we are at the moment. Pulse Dodge Coin. It is up 21 hours to go in this auction. So I'll post the auctions in the chat there if you want to follow them. There is the auction for Pulsepot if you want to follow these. And this is the Pulsechain ones. Like I say, they're doing the BNB ones later. So there we are. Makes sense, kind of, I think, to launch the Pulsechain ones because it gives you that the hype. Now, these guys won't be able to use these until Pulsechain launches, though. So if you win them, you still have to wait. But for the BNB ones, you won't have to. It'll be interesting to see what people price the BNB ones since you don't have to wait. They'll be able to go live pretty fast after the first product is up and running. I guess the timing may end up playing out like that. All right, let's go and have a look at the bid here on Pulse Dodge Coin and see what's going on here. Now, the minimum bid is 1 ETH. So I think we're still sitting at 1 ETH, are we? I think we are, yeah, 1 ETH. And it was 42 minutes ago. So looks like only got launched there 1 minute ago or something. Let's have a look at the bid history. 1 ETH there in history there. Pulsepot. So it looks like 1 ETH there. So that's kind of where we are. I think the Pulse Dodge Coin to the Moon has placed a bid there, 1 ETH. So that is the minimum reserve. So this thing is this thing is live. So cool. So that is what's happening there. So Pulse Dodge Coin is currently in auction. So after Pulse Dodge Coin, we get up to Maxi. So we'll have the Maxi roulette. That might do pretty well. This USDL, I'm not sure what's happening there. It says sold, but I don't know whether it's just sitting there as a placeholder. So we've got PLSD, and then the final one looks like Maxi roulette, and then that's it. So we'll be covering that tomorrow as well. So cool shout out to the Pulsepot team. They're launching on the 14th of September. And of course, if we go to Pulsepot, let's go to Pulsepot here. Pulsepot. They are launching this game first. This game is being launched first. This is the one that's being launched first here. And this is going on the 14th of September as the expected date, give or take to their flexibility. But we're looking forward to that on the 14th of September on the BNB chain. Obviously, this will be on 5 chains, including Pulsechain when Pulsechain launches. And the other thing I was going to say is they're going to have other games as well, obviously, sports and slots machines and stuff like that. So it's coming. They're innovating in the space. Great. And I like it. The people get to own the house, right? It's kind of cool. All right, cool. Let's get on for that. That is that. We're waiting for the Hex Daily Stats. Day 1012 coming up soon. So we'll be covering that. So stay tuned. That is out probably any moment now. So we're waiting for day 1012. We're currently on day 1013 as we head towards 3 years for Hex. That will be 1095 days. So we're getting closer to that. And here we go. Waiting for 1012. We'll talk about that when it comes up. Let's get back into the Hex charts though. Hex sitting at 4 cents. Pretty much been around that for 12 days or so. Now, an interesting drop there in the Richard Hart speech. I was talking about the Hex price. So if you want to go check that out, that was pretty cool. On the old Richard Hart. Maybe I'll play that again at the end of this live stream. But that was pretty alpha there. Just listen very carefully from talking about the Hex price there. He dropped a couple of little alphas. Now the timing of these alpha landing is not known, but you can try and make an educated guess. That's probably where we are at the States. So we've got Hex at 4 cents. We've got Maxi at the 2.12 premium over Hex. And we've got Hedron there at 4,128. And of course, these are all flipped over to the new day on my charts because the chart flips over at 12. So we've got a new day here for the Hedron win there. And of course, we've got Ecosa at $1.22. Those are our leaders in the Hex ecosystem. It looks like my team tokens have dropped off there. But appears failing to load. At the end of September, by the 27th, we're going to have, I haven't seen the other pairs, but we're going to have basically, we're going to have, what am I saying? We're going to have nine tokens in the Hex ecosystem. It's going to be pretty cool. All right, let's get into it. We've got a few more things going on there too. Let's look there. Have I had some issues with the internet connection? I don't think so. My studio is telling me I have. So look here, I think we got some updates from people around Pulsebot because maybe I've missed something there. Let's jump over the top here. I'm going to go back to the top. Let's jump into this. Bob says the cool girls are on Earth, says Sandy Beach. That is true. Miss Beach, Peach. Yeah, I like that, Bob. That's nice. That's not a peach. Yeah, it's a peach. Bob says, hi, I couldn't remember if I got that. What else do we got? So Pulsebot says, PCN price dumped and panic on the headline, but it got up again, says Pulsebot. Right. Yeah. That's a market manipulation, I said. Pulsebot, but market manipulation. We got legal blitz in the house here. Hex underperforming. Yeah, well, it's not performing yet, but of course, we've still got the perpetuals going, and may not be until we get near the end of the 21-day phase that we see some lift from market buying there. Still a long way to go. We've still got 16 days to go there. Legal blitz and a few more hours. 1 cent Hex is Sandy Beach. Yeah, you'll be dollar cost averaging that. I know you will, Sandy. Yeah, get your dollar cost, get your limit orders in. InvestX in house. Hey, everybody. Good to see InvestX. Luna Classic is writing. Yeah, I saw that, Pulse God. Luna Classic there having a good move. I know some people in our price chat will be happy about that. They've been speculating on that one. Christian says it's the only way to get into the weight action is if I sacrifice. Yes. Oh, you can buy it on the market though, Christian, if you're going to speculate. So that's kind of there. Monica says hello. Good to see Monica in as well in the house there. Very, very cool. MoFit Meals from Monica. Pulseway says Pulsechain circulating supply decreases in this process. Sorry to shill. Yep. I did talk about that, I think. Pulsepot launch delayed to October the 1st. Really? September, October. Okay. I hadn't heard that legal blitz. So that's interesting because that was the 14th of September. It looks like they have delayed their launch to the 1st of October. So that's another, how many days? It's 20 days away approximately. So cool. Thanks for that insight there, Legal Blitz. Dan says, hey, Bob, we might need Elon's spaceship to rocket to the space party. Superman and Richard's Heart can be the special guest. Nice one there, Dan. Nice one. Very nice, Dan. Very nice. Christian Collins says, you got to have deep pockets for the auction. I got $1, says Christian. Yeah, you do have to. You not only do you have to have deep pockets for the Pulsepot auction, but you need to be able to fund the tables as well. And of course, depending on that. Now, it is pretty lucrative to own, but you do have to have that funding. Like I say, if someone hits one of the numbers, 1 in 36 chance, there's about a 2.7% chance of winning. So that should limit the maximum bet. But hey, imagine if someone put in a maximum bet, and of course, you've got to be able to honor that, right? So if you put in a huge bet, the tables do have different limits in terms of maximum bet, but they can only go as high as the liquidity that's been provided by the owner of the table. Hex on air in the house. Hey, could I see Hex on air? CJ in the house. Good to see you, CJ. Hex down under as well. Morning, handsome. Hey, Hex down under. Good to see you. I think you're talking about Sandy Beach there, I'm sure. I guess it's beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful for Sandy Beach, not handsome. Hex down under says, my Luna and profits. Yeah, I'm not surprised. There's a few people in the price chat there. They've been speculating on the in our Discord. They've been speculating on the Luna Classic. So some of them have been holding the whole time, which is pretty crazy. Francis in the house there. Hello, Francis. Good to see you. Dan says, I am confused as which one I should invest in the 4 perpetuals or a COSA, which can give me 2 yields, Hedron and COSA, or invest in base trio, Lucky and Dicky. I have 1,000 to spend, and I have Hex. Well, I've been talking about, if you're talking about the, there's obviously going to be massive paydays coming up for COSA stakers in November. So that's obviously a decent play. Obviously, you have to make a decision about that yourself. I was going to say around the perpetuals, it seems like the Decimus one has the highest APY. So if you're playing a longer, it depends on if you're playing a short game or a long game. But either way, I think that one's probably going to do better short game and long game. So you can think about that with the premium. The APY there is pretty handsome there. You can see 30%. You can see what the market's doing. Market's going into the long one there. The APY is the highest. You can think about that. And, of course, the team. The team will benefit depending on how big these get. So, obviously, we're targeting, technically 600 million. And we're at 70 million so far. We're going to see some pretty crazy stuff towards the end is what I suspect in terms of the Hex going in and also the amount of team going in as well. So, yeah, hopefully that gives you a little bit more thought about that. Get into our price chat, though, Dan, in the Discord, and people will give you their opinions as well. Thanks, Hex Token. Yes, not handsome. Yes, beautiful, Sandy Beach. The most famous Hexkin setup here. I know there's someone else. Who's the one with the brunette hair? Sandy Beach. You two are have the locks of the angels, as it were, the locks of the angels. Francis in the house. Hey, Sandy, good to see Francis. Says what else there, Hex? You're doing your big walk today? Yes, I am, Hex Down Under. Going from a walk, sunny today, so it's going to be nice to do that. Very cool. All right, hey everybody, if we've got 63 people in the house there, a big welcome everybody. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself, dollar cost averaging and all that, setting limit orders. And of course we've got the awesome launch at the moment, 21-day launches. We're coming up to 5 days finish soon. I'll be covering those results in my second live stream, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I got my 4th video in the Pulsechain series short form video coming out at the end of the day. That's probably about 11.5 hours away, so it's coming out too. Very, very cool. We're over 70 million. Hex has gone into perpetuals, and we've got 27 million team. Maxi has gone into team token, and of course that has flipped the Hedron Deplorer, and here we are, the Hedron Deplorer number 2. So it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, cool. Let's see where we're going up to. I think we've got the Hex Daily Stats. Yes, we have. Woohoo! Nice. Hex Daily Stats, folks. Let's go. Day 1012, the 9th of September 2022. We've got the price of Hex at 3.9999. It feels like we've been around 4 cents forever, plus or minus. Look at that, 4 cents, pretty much all the way, plus or minus, 1 or 2, a little bit there. So at the moment, the Hex price is actually up of 1.8%. That's hilarious. Anyway, so that's where we are at the moment. The payout per T-share is 6.159. No big penalties today. We had big penalties, decent penalties the last 2 days. The T-share rate, $934 to get a T-share. And the T-share rate has gone up 7 Hex, and of course that is to 23,358. Now, if you want to get a T-share for a third of the price, you just have to stake for 10 years. You get 20% more shares every time when you stake the Hex for every year. So that's 200% more shares. That means basically you can get it for a third of the price if you stake out that long. What else have we got there? Average stake length 6.56 years, and the annual percentage yield rate, yield and emergency in-state penalties. The yield means that the inflation from Hex, which is up to 3.69%. That is the nominal inflation rate. Obviously, the effective inflation rate is actually a lot lower because of a number of factors, but that's pretty cool. 37.66% is the yield. The liquidity pool is 325 million Hex. It's down slightly from yesterday. We've got slightly more USD in there, so $11.2 million, up from 10.7 million yesterday, and Ether up slightly too, up 40 Ethereum there to 1096. Let's jump over to the T-shares. T-shares down 5,944. Now, you know these are all existing big players because even if you bought up all the Hex in here, it's going to be hard to get a lot of T-shares. Right, so these are the big players. 10.4 million is in the T-share pool. Now, Hex is easy to understand. As I always say every day, we've got the reward pool with inflation and penalties every day. And then we have the ownership pool, which has got the T-shares. T-shares stands for trillions of shares. They're the ownership pool. So the rewards go to the T-share holders. And, of course, if you change those numbers slightly, then the Hex payout per T-share changes. That's pretty much Hex in a nutshell if you are new to crypto. Let's jump away over here. We're going to jump over to the amount of stake percentage of coins. 9.69% of Hex is staked. And, of course, that is a really good number because the vast majority of Hex is owned by the Origin account. Some people say around about 90%. So here we are at 9.69% of all Hex estate. That's very, very good. And of course, the penalties at the moment, 456,000 is that's a lower day in the office after having look at the rest of the last 10 days. We've had spectacular results over 1 million there. And of course, if you got your Hex T-shares, you're just waiting patiently. You're accumulating all those penalties. Some of those penalties include big payday. If you missed out on that, you're getting a little bit of that and some of these penalties, as well as some of the interest from people that emerge in stake. So you can thank them for their service. As Hodl Dog always says, I thank you for your service. That's probably the way to talk about it there. All right, so let's have a look at the growth in the numbers. We're still growing. Hex is not slowing down there. We're up 67 stakers for the day, up to 108,360 stakers. And of course, we were running at 3-digit numbers. So we've had 2 double-digit numbers the last 2 days. The wallet holders are up 119, 164 yesterday, 119 today, 310,556. The total holder numbers are now up 244 to 494,004. We're heading up towards 500,000 on that number. That's kind of a cool little milestone there. But really, the ultimate number we like to measure really is the current stakers. We're up to 108,360, and that's pretty cool. We're still pre-viral, and of course, we've got so much stuff coming down the line there. Pulsechain, highest of stakes, possibly the Hex Investment Trust going on NASDAQ. Lots of big things coming, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, the cool thing is that when you buy Hex on the market, you're getting a copy on the Pulsechain. Hex is currently at 4 cents, so you're getting basically Hex for 2 cents when you get your copy on Pulsechain. It's pretty cool. Currently, we're on day 1,013, rocking it up to the DMV as we head towards 3 years. That'll be 1,095 days. It's going to be an amazing party there at the beginning of December, and of course, December 2022. It's going to be epic. We're going to enter our 4th year. Can you believe it? 4th year. So it's going to be absolutely epic. You know what happens after 4 years? 5 years. We hit 5 years. That's right. You got it. 5 years. I'm just kidding. All right. So cool. That is pretty much it. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. If you haven't hit the bell, hit the bell. And of course, if you want to support this channel, hit the join button. We've got Pulsechain, Hexkins, and Richard Heart Club. And of course, don't forget to get into our Discord. The link's in the video description. And we've got great information in here and great community. And we try to keep it as safe as we can. We've got obviously syndicated channels. So there's Heinz Crypto, Jen Hex there with Craig as well. We have amazing moderators. We've got Sandy Beach. We've got Fat Sammy. We've got Brian, who's the pretty much head of our community there. And of course, what else? We've got a few others in the house there as well that are moderators. So I don't know if they're all in the house there at the moment. Actually, none of the moderators actually online there from the looks of it. But hey, look, that's the way to go. Now, if you are a Hex Token channel member as well, you will get a purple name, and standard members are in blue. Just one of those perks. You know how it rolls. Now, if you want good information, we've got useful links. Of course, we've got all the sites you could possibly want to have as a library of sites. So you can go and check everything out from Hex to Pulsechain, PulseX, to Richard Hart himself, to trading, limit orders, Hex derivatives like Icosa, Hedron, Maxi, onboarding tools like staking ladders and things like that, calculators and all sorts of stuff in there. All the streamers there on pulsechew.com. Who else there? Let's see quickly to see whether Randy Alaski's at the 555 Club. We've got Pulsechain Sacrifices, hardware wallets, Hex stores and community sites, Hex Godwell, and of course, Pulsechain News. Lots of stuff happening there. In addition to that, of course, we have General Richard Hart chat there, and we have the Pulsechain chat as well for riskier projects, including new token links. We have the Pulse Police. They check airdrops and contracts, see if they're okay. Pulsechain News with all the projects coming on the Pulsechain. That's Pulsechain Sacrifices and much, much more. So check that out too. So like I say, we're not kidding. Good information, good community. That's how we rock. Let's jump over to the all channels. Let's see if Randy Alaski's at the 555 Club yet. And of course, they haven't added the 5555 Plus Club yet there on the filter. Let's see. Randy Alaski. Yes. Well done, Randy Alaski. Hit the 555 Club. Nice one. That's very, very cool. And okay, so you can see that the next one there is Crypto Sparbook, Corey Costa and Funding Jim and David Feder. So some big names coming up, trying to hit the 555 Club. Very, very cool. Now, this channel is trying to hit 6,000 subs. So we're trying to go up and up and up. And of course, we're currently sitting at how many? Sitting at 5,738 subscribers at the moment, heading up towards slowly and surely up to 6,000. And we're going to move. All right, cool. Still waiting for another filter in here. They're supposed to add a filter for 5 plus. So that's just for us YouTubers that like to think about those numbers. All right, cool. Let's jump over to the markets at the moment. We've got Hex at 3.987 cents. We've got Maxi there at 2.12 premium. We've got Hedron there at the moment at 4,121 and Icosa at $1.22. Now, obviously, the big events coming up for Hedron. So we're going to quickly look at that. Hedron has really, really big auctions coming up with all the HSI stakes, tens of thousands of T-shares, millions of ICOSA inflation and staking rewards, and of course, massive HSI T-shares, like tens of thousands, like 40, 50,000 T-shares, something like that. It's going to be epic. So let me just sign on here. It'll be epic. All right, so cool. Let me just switch around here on the wallet. Let's go here. Just make sure I'm on the right wallet there. Let me get out of there and Ethereum. Okay, cool. Let's jump over to this. I'm going to refresh this again. Now, we had a good look at the Hedron numbers yesterday in the second live stream, so I'm not going to go through all that today. But hey, look, here we've got 5 auctions in here at the moment. So the 13th, 14th of November, we're going to have 1,000. I think it's like 2,500 auctions coming in here. They all get what happens when people sell their HSI stakes to the ICOSA contract. It then borrows the Hedron on that, pays that to ICOSA stakers, and then of course it ends up defaulting after 90 days and ends up here in the the Hedron defaults. So it ends up here. And as you can see, there's already other ones here by other people. This is what we've got at the moment. Could you imagine magnifying this by 1,000 times or something? It's going to be massive over the 2-week payday. I call it the 2-week big payday. Is that what I call it? The fortnight big payday. Yeah, fortnight big payday. I call it for ICOSA Hedron, and that's coming up in November there, around about the 13th, 14th onwards. So it's going to be crazy for 2 weeks, and that's kind of the big payday inflation event. Payouts to stakers, and of course Hedron burn and massive HSI winnings, Hex there, stakes for big whales coming into bid for that. Now, will we see people pay fair value, or will people pay excess value? We'll find out. Auctions can be a crazy place. The other thing, of course, is that some of them will have Hedron bonuses and things like that, so it's going to be interesting to see people price those. So not all HSIs are created equal as such, but the T-shares equivalent, so you can use T-share equivalents. So here, right, we've got the biggest one here is a 54.8 T-shares. So this one's a 13 B shares, 8.6 B shares, 29, 90 B shares here. You got the days served here. You got the mintable Hedron in them, which is nice. People have to take that into account on their calculations. And of course, they've got the starting bid there as well. So these are starting bids here. So you can see there's 303 million Hedron bid on this one so far. They're all going to market. This one's going to market in 28. So they're going to go over to active liquidations, 28 days, 49, 53, 55, 55. At the moment, there's no active liquidations, but could you imagine thousands in here, particularly on I think it's the 14th. It's going to be crazy, or 13th. So it's going to be amazing to see. It's going to be insane. I don't know how people are going to value these. It's going to be crazy stuff. Yeah, it's going to be like a feeding frenzy. It's going to be a feeding frenzy, absolutely. Yeah, it's a bit like ducks with bread, or a pool of fish with I don't know what they eat, plankton or something. I don't know, there's whales, but it's going to be like that. It's going to be pretty crazy. That is awesome. All right, so cool. That's coming up in November, and of course that makes this Hedron chart look pretty interesting. And of course, people will be probably it will have several waves. We could see it just wave up in valuations here with that big fortnight payday coming up. It's still a while away though. It's only 10th September, so you're talking about 2 months, just over 2 months away for that event. Makes for a fun chart though, the Hedron chart there. In the meantime, everybody's earning really nice ICOSA yield, and will get absolutely bonanza and become big holders of ICOSA going forward. It's going to be pretty cool. All right, I think that's where we're at this moment. Let's get in the chat there, see who else has got any more comments. We got the Apostle says, great show again, super. I have to go to work now. Can't wait to check out the afternoon stream replay when I get home. Hey, nice one, Pulse. Have a great day at work. Yeah, and we'll catch you on the next one. Dan says, hey, Superman, are those APYs on deck in 29% per year or span of 10 years stakes? They'll be over the 10-year period. If I stake my new liquid Hex, as the APYs, the annual percentage yields. So they're on a yearly basis for the 10-year yield, though. Hex Token says, we're here, says Sandy Beach. Hey, Sandy Beach, good to see you. Hey, Superman, where's your Discord channel, champ, so I can join? Then from the awesome community, thanks, champ. Hey, the link's in the video description, but lives beneath is posted there below. So thank you, lives, for that. Astro's in house there, 369. Big clap out there. Yeah, get into the community. There's lots of people with different opinions, so they'll get in there. And there's lots of knowledgeable people that can help you too there, Adan, with some perspectives. Astro yields. Hex Love says, "What do WhatsApp holders get ICOSA yield on November?" They all do, yeah. So they get it based on they get it. So people get Hedron based on the Hedron yield divided by the share rate. So and of course, let me just double check on that one. Astro says, "I need to get a copy, lol." Yeah, you do need to get a copy. I got my copy here, but I'm going to get one later on. When Hex goes up and to the right, sir, it's going to, well, we're waiting for that. We're going to have to wait patiently. So ICOSA yield is the daily burned Hedron divided by the T share rate. So the ICOSA yield, daily burned Hedron divided by the share rate. The Hedron yield is Hedron advance from the HSI stakes sales. So that's what I did say about that. So to the SC. So yeah. It's kind of that. So yeah, Hedron is based on the HSI sales. Obviously, you sell HSI, and the Hedron gets borrowed. The borrowable Hedron gets borrowed and then paid to the ICOSA stakers. And for people staking any of those Watsels or anything else, they get the daily burned Hedron divided by the share rate plus Watsa people get the bonuses from the staking pools. So 10% of those as well. So it's best probably to show the chart for that, but we'll pull it up. Let me find it down here. So this one here. So this is the one here. I'll post this on the chat there so you can save that to your favorites there. Save that to your favorites. Who was I talking to? Hex Love there. So Hex Love, you can save that to your favorites. All right, who else do we go? Rotrick Patrick says, "I'm beached as." No need plankton. Haha, says Rod. That's true. Would you rather have liquid Hedron or an ICOSA stake on the 14th? Probably ICOSA. A Hex Love, probably ICOSA. Astro in the house there. Big hearts out. Big hearts there. Yes, true. Thanks for the Discord link, Superman. Got it. Cheers, says Dan. You're welcome. There is the link to this, and of course you can see what's there. Get a copy of all the bonuses people staking. So 20% for whales, etc. All in orange here, and the HSIs as well. So this for HSIs. So the four components. There's the WhatsApp ones that are staked earning ICOSA, and of course there's the HSI buybacks that go on. There's the staking ICOSA that goes on there. They earn ICOSA and Hedron. The Hedron is from the HSI buybacks up the top here. And of course, the Hedron there also get ICOSA as well. So yeah, and that's based on the daily burn divided by the T-share rate. But the Watsons also get a copy of the bonuses as well, which is pretty nice. On the ICOSA yield only, of course. All right, cool. Let's jump over to the price there. This is the Maxi one. So we had a lot of we had some big sales here in Maxi. Remember, 268,000, 300,000. I'm not sure actually what these guys did with it. Let's have a quick look and nosy. We've still got a couple of minutes left, so I'm going to have a look at that. Let's have a look at what they did with that. So they got into Hex, but what did they do with their Hex? Let's have a look. What that guy did with his Hex. It's still sitting on 1.2 million X. And looks like, what's he been doing here? That was the Hex coming in there. Let's see what he did here. Put some in the US dollars, did he? I think he did. And this one here, what did he do? Yeah, more US dollars from the looks of it. So put some in US dollars. What's the other one do? The other one, let's see what this other one did. 500,000 Hex there. It's like Hex and Hex 3 there. So yeah, it doesn't look like any of these put them into, PZen. Went into PZen, this one. One went into PZen. Pulsechain would be like that, but he missed that one. And that one went into PZen. So that's pretty much it. All right, so don't forget to catch me later on today. We'll be doing the end of day 5 results on the team token. And of course, that'll be a lot of fun. There we are at the moment, 2.12. And we've got a lot of buying going in on the team at the moment, though. So after those big sells, got people coming in and buying. So it's nice. We'll keep watching that. Long way to go, man. 16 days to go. It's a long way to go for a launch phase, but a lot of excitement too in that time frame. It's going to be cool. How much buying of Hex will we get into the market to finally lift the Hex price out of its malaise? Last 12, 13 days. We will find out. We've still got 16 days to go to find that out. So a long time to go. All right, the big whales. A lot of big whales have not moved, but we have had some movement of some of the larger whales in Maxi. But we've still got time to go. Man, BTC 21,255, 1,749 ETH match coming up, and maybe 3 to 5 days. Pretty interesting to see. All right, cool. Thank you for a great stream, says Sandy Beach. You're welcome. Let's wrap it up now. I'm going to play out the Hex, the Richard Hart keynote speech. If you missed that, they're going to play that. So hope you guys enjoy that. It was from the Pulse conference there. So let me just cue that up for you. If you have not seen it, there will be some insights. Now, what I always suggest is listen very carefully to everything he's saying, because he's actually dropping quite a bit of his worldview. Obviously, he's got a bit of gamification he's not going to let people know about. But yeah, some pretty interesting stuff, particularly around the Hex price. Listen to that comment as well. Now, we don't know the timing of these little alpha drops, but there's a little bit alpha in there around Hex and other things. So check that out. Bye for now.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Pulsechain shirt on. Pulsechain ring. So, am I just talking or what? Am I live? I guess I'm just live. Hey, everybody. I hope the weather's nice and cool out there. I hear it's like 106 Fahrenheit and hot. I have been talking to devs a lot recently, and I guess the next thing you're going to see released on Pulse X is going to be the limit orders. Works fine in the private testnet. They're just going to push it to the main branch, and like you'll be able to test that soon. And the big thing that we're waiting on is consensus improvements. So because my devs are geniuses, they find bugs other people don't know about. So they know about bugs in BSC that nobody else knows about. They know about bugs in the click consensus mechanism, which Pirelli is based on, that nobody knows about. And so, you know, before we launch mainnet, we want everything to be right. And right now we have a pretty cool opportunity because the Ethereum guys finally got to market with something, or are close to getting to market with something, which is their Ethereum 2.0, which will now, once it happens, just be called Ethereum. They won't be called Ethereum 2. And it doesn't release new coins. You're not going to get a copy of your coins on Ethereum 2. It doesn't improve costs. There's no extra throughput. There's no extra gas limit. There's no extra throughput per second. All it does is reduce issuance rate for Ethereum, which is bullish for all of crypto. You know, Ethereum's got half the market cap of Bitcoin. And if you don't have Ethereum miners dumping the price constantly and enriching power companies and hardware manufacturers at the cost of the environment and the price chart, well, that's great. And that's great for all of crypto. And it's also great for Pulsechain. In my mind, the two most important core concepts for Pulsechain are the Ethereum fees still high? Yes, they are. You know, I was looking earlier today, it's still $3 to send normal Ethereum. It's still, you know, 10 or 12 bucks to do a Uniswap transfer, et cetera. And that's during a bear market where, you know, Ethereum already dropped 85%. Bear markets tend to come to an end. So the last bear market only lasted 365 days. This one is going to last a little bit longer because people decided to destroy their balance sheets and buy a second. They didn't want to do the normal blow off top bubble chart. They wanted to do an extra double bubble. And this double bubble, well, it didn't work. Ethereum's capital liquidated, block, you know, Celsius bankrupt. Michael Saylor net negative, El Salvador net negative. Everybody, you know, all those guys losing money left and right. All the people that listen to me, well, they've seemed to have done much better. Called top of the day. You might have heard that before. So basically, with this merge that's coming up, assuming it goes well, which I hope that it does, they've got a lot of audits. They've done a lot of testing on it. Hope it goes well. it doesn't do anything but help Pulsechain. Fees are still high, gas limits are still low. No one's building out extra capacity for Ethereum. No one's trying to reduce the Ethereum fees except us. And I guess maybe the ETH2 developers that someday in the future will eventually get around to sharding, which has been a dream of theirs for like as long as Ethereum's existed. I don't know, 6 years. And it's great. So it also helps with our consensus stuff, because a lot of stuff the guys did in ETH2 for consensus is useful for us and Pulsechain. And that's the only thing we're really waiting on. So, if you use the test net, which I consider to be the best game on the blockchain, hey, you like blockchain games? Guess what, guys? You get copies of all your coins in the pulsechain.com test net. Go try them out right now. You can trade them back and forth. You can do, it's the same code. So you can do a lot of the same things. And everything else has been really good. Like PulseX, done tons of trades, tons of people doing buy and burns. I've heard nothing but good things about the testnet. So we're basically, because things have taken as long as they have, we're more secure. We're able to improve other projects if we want. Not sure we will. It's just funny. So in my mind, the two things people care about the most in Pulsechain are more coins, more throughput, lower fees. That's the primary value statement. And ETH 2.0 with this merge doesn't give you new coins, doesn't give you lower fees, doesn't give you higher throughput. And so our value proposition is totally clean. I like it. Everything's good. And then the less negative sell pressure on crypto as a whole from removing the miners having to get paid all the time is good for everything. Now, am I bullish on crypto? Not yet. Now remember, Hex ran up 60x versus Bitcoin the first time it dumped from 65K down 55%. So Hex can totally decorrelate from Bitcoin. I think it was kind of bad timing that it looks correlated now, because we had our own cycles, right? There were sacrifice phases. There was other things going on in our own cycles. And so I wouldn't be surprised if some point Hex started doing the same things it used to do, which is just overperforming like crazy. We'll see. I don't have a crystal ball. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, do your own research, etc. But even recently when you saw Bitcoin like break under 20K, which people are really hoping for, they don't like seeing Bitcoin under 20K. And then if you're a technical analyst, there's some things that say like support becomes resistance. And so, what used to be resistance is support in theory, old 20K top, now 20K quote bottom, but actually didn't hold a 20K bottom at all. Didn't respect that at all. Went down to 17.5, is now sitting at it was interesting. I saw the euro and Bitcoin and the S&P 500 all pumped today. I was like, oh, I wonder if they're correlated. So yeah, I think as long as Grayscale Bitcoin's at a 33% discount, which it is, and they hold 1% of all Bitcoin, and the Ethereum merge might be a buy the rumor, sell the news event. I mean, we see lending people that are borrowing Ethereum for the merge, they're paying like 15% APY to do it. And so, there's some people interested in playing this merge game. And I think traditionally in crypto, buy the rumor, sell the new stuff is pretty common, And so with the risk that Bitcoin dumps due to either just not doing its 85% dump yet, which would put it at, a little bit under 11K, and the 33% discount on Grayscale BTC, which has been consistent. I mean, it's been there for months. And the Mt. Gox coins being released at some point. Those guys suck so bad. Just give us a date, guys. Just give us a date. Let's go. Stop screwing around, The comedy, that whole thing. And then we've got the Bitfinex coins they're trying to sell, which I think is like 94,000 coins or 84,000 coins or something. And then we've got Ross Ulbricht's coins, which I think is like 70,000 coins, somewhere between 54 and 74,000. Can't remember the exact number. I tweeted all these, so you can look these up. So we've got discounted Grayscale Bitcoin, which is 1% of all Bitcoin. We've got Mt. Gox, Bitfinex, and the federal marshals probably selling Ross Ulbricht's coins. because he signed off to let them do it to pay his restitution. And then normal cycle dump, right? And then maybe buy the rumor, sell the news for merge. So in my mind, it's the dream bottom would be the Grayscale discount goes away. Some of those free coins that are going to get released by law, like the Japanese ones at Mt. Gox, or going to get dumped as a matter of law, which would be the Olbricht ones of Silk Road fame. And then it's up in the air whether the Bitfinex ones will really get sold or not. You know, they might get refunded or they might get sold. Who knows? And I think there was 94,000 coins there. You could look it up. So the dream would be those coins get dumped. Bitcoin's deficit to net asset value and Grayscale disappears. And then it does its traditional 11K and pray 85% dump. That's been a nice bottom. And then if they raised interest rates, oh boy, that'd be nice too. Because as long as they keep doing quantitative tightening, QT, it pushes down the stock market pushes down Bitcoin, Bitcoin pushes down Ethereum. That's how it goes. And then this next cycle is going to be hilarious because with Pulsechain, you know, like look at the situation Bitcoin's in. Is there DeFi in Bitcoin? Comedically, no. Is there high throughput? Is there low fees? Is there a roadmap? Nope. Is there good anonymity? Nope. Now I was just talking to a lawyer today about the Tornado Cash situation. And I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. But he says that, you know, the sanction just addressed USDC, which means it could be the case that you can still use Tornado Cash using the ETH address. And as long as you're using IPFS to access the contract, you know, it seems like it should be okay. But if you mess this up, it's devastating. Don't mess it up. Be very careful. Get your own legal advice. You know, of the many things in this world that you want to toy with, sanctions are not one of them. The government takes them very, very seriously. So I would get legal advice from a lawyer before I did anything related to sanctions. So yeah, bear markets don't last forever, right? So if our top was, let's check the chart here. Check the chat. So if we call the most recent local top, get on the daily here, in Bitcoin, if we call that November of 2021, and a year out would be, that's November 11th of November 10th of 2021. You know, that's 2 months from now. So if the bear market's only going to last 365 days, that's only 2 months and 4 days from now. Could happen, right? We could dump, make that firm bottom. And everyone else is thinking about this bear market. I'm thinking about the next bull market. As soon as we've got this consensus figured out, and I think we've got a good plan, as soon as this consensus is like executed and fixed on Pulsechain, it's got to be glorious. Imagine imagine all these new people that get to buy a massive dip. So when I got into crypto, I didn't get to buy a massive dip. I got to buy the top. So I bought Bitcoin at 30 and it went down to 2. I was down 93.5% to start. It was like, oh, well, this sucks. Then you just hold. Then it goes up to 1,200, and then it goes down to 200, and then it goes up to 20,000, then it goes down to 3, and then it goes up to 14, then it goes to 4, and then it goes to 69, and then it goes to 17. That's the history. So being able to have so many people, like perhaps the people at this conference, buying at rates that are, 10 times cheaper, like for instance, Hex dipped 95%. Well, golly, that's a good dip. I mean, you could get, if you buy 95% dip, you're getting 20 times the stuff for the same economic energy that a person that had bought previously did. So in theory, that greatly reduces your risk because you're getting so much more stuff. I don't know why in crypto everyone loves to buy tops and sell bottoms, but if you have the opportunity to buy bottoms, like some people bought the big payday dip, well, that was glorious. They did very well on that. Some people bought that $2 dip. I didn't. I just held. But had I been a lot smarter, buying a 90% dip on something that went up another 20,000 fold, yeah, actually went up another 34,500 fold from $2. So it's a lot. It's a lot of extra movement. 34,500x from the bottom of the dip. That was my introduction to Bitcoin. What else do we got going? I mean, some of you guys may notice there was a US credit card on-ramp available for Hex, which would be buytohex.com. What else? Yeah, really, we're kind of waiting for consensus. That's the majority of what we care about right now. And we also, the documentary's done. So the highest of stakes documentary is complete, and they're just slapping the soundtrack on there now. So it's I hear a 40-piece orchestra. I'm not an expert on orchestras. I'm not, I don't listen to too much orchestral music. I guess we all do if we watch movies, because it's very common in movies. And apparently everyone that's seen it likes it. So I think it's going to be awesome when that comes out. So let's see what next year might look like. Pulsechain, PulseX, Hex on the Ethereum network, Hex on the Pulse network, documentary out, incentive token out. Tell us more about the incentive token. I don't know. People probably provide liquidity to it, and that'll be its claim to fame. What's Dogecoin's claim to fame? As a JPEG. This still seems to be a mechanic that works in crypto. What else? Racking my head here. Oh, yeah, the wallet's coming along. Mr. Wallet developer is still building out the wallet, so that's coming along. Anything else? I think that's all I can think about.